Sorry.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Urbana-Champaign. My name is Sam Bashirs, and I'm chair of the worship committee. I'll be joined in leading this service by worship committee members Paul Weston, Angie Urban, Kiri Fagan-Olmschneider, and Linda Owens. We are a church of many different theologies and identities, united by our shared commitment to building community, seeking inspiration, promoting justice, and finding peace. Please look around at the color-coded lanyards of your neighbors and be aware and respectful of others' needs and boundaries. We're a congregation of all ages, which means we embrace all the noises and little disruptions our kids can bring into a Sunday morning, and we even tolerate a certain amount from the grown-ups. As always, you're welcome to get a coloring kit from the box in the entryway, just what the lanyards are, and after the time for all ages, kids will be invited to head downstairs with their teachers for religious exploration. Today's service is about what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist, told from the perspective of some of our members. If you are visiting or here for the first time, you should be aware that we regularly have lay-led services and love to hear from our own members as well as from our ministers. We call this shared ministry, and today is one of those services. UUs have no creeds. No one tells us what to think, and we are free to believe as we choose. Freedom of thought is great, but there's a flip side. Freedom can feel empty. As Chris Christopherson wrote, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. In our case, if we can believe what we want, does that mean we can believe in anything? And what then does it mean to be a UU? A man named Robert Cushman wrote in 1912, "Oh, I have a great deal of respect for the Unitarians. They don't believe a damn thing and they live up to it every day of the week, Sundays included." I don't think he was one of us. One way to avoid the emptiness of freedom is to actively share and discuss our beliefs. This morning we'll hear from a variety of voices about what we believe. We will be hearing from new members and some who have been here for a while, and from a wide range of ages. I would like to thank those who volunteered or accepted our invitation to speak. Angie Urban, Jody Hanger, Charles and Caitlin Walworth, Alyssa Mullins, and Priscilla Crone, and Julia Cronin, who accepted the invitation to sing. I hope as you listen to our speakers, you will appreciate their thoughtfulness and their willingness to share, and maybe one of these days you will think about sharing your own thoughts or beliefs. Whoever and wherever you may be, know that you are welcome here, and this service is here for you. May you find in it something of worth. And now Paul Weston will lead us in our chalice lighting.
We light this chalice to remind ourselves that no matter what words and images we use to articulate our beliefs, words are just words until we embody them in compassionate action. Elizabeth Mullins.
And now we'll have our opening hymn. I invite you to please stand, if standing is comfortable for you, and join in singing number 298 in the gray hymnal, "Wake Now My Senses." Wake now my senses and hear the earth call, feel the beauty seated. And now Angie Urban will lead us in a time for all ages.
Good morning. Hopefully everyone can hear me. So this is a time for all ages, for young and old, and those who consider themselves young or young at heart, please consider coming up here with me. I have a book with me, but we're actually not going to read a story. But this is my inspiration for a game that we're going to play, which is called Would You Rather? I'm curious if anyone has heard of this book. We can come up here if you'd like. Just sit in the middle area. Sit over here. You like Would You Rather? Well, we're going to play the game. And this game, so when Sam asked about what do we practice, how do we practice, you-ism. And I thought to myself, well, I didn't really grow up as a you-you. But back in my day, we watched a lot of Mr. Rogers. And so, really, I still carry that forward with me today in practicing kindness. So, this game that we're going to play, which is called Would You Rather, I have 2 baskets. And in my baskets, I have 2 colors of circles. So, let's play a practice round before we start this game. Now, I'm going to put, let's see, where can we put these that everybody can reach? I'm going to put them right in the center here, and perhaps we can even pass some to our friends that are a little bit further out. You can't reach it? Here you go. All right, so now if I were to say, that's okay. So if I were to say, would you rather have pizza all the time, or would you rather have ice cream all the time? So every first question I ask, you'll do the, what do you call this, purple, pink?
I don't have the green one.
So if you would rather have pizza all the time, you always will do the pink first, the pinkish purplish. But if you would rather have ice cream all the time, it'll always be green, the second one, right? You can remember that because a lot of us have green today because I heard it's St. Patrick's Day.
Only have pink. The leprechaun sprayed like a bunch of cereal all over the place.
Yes. Okay. So if you don't have a color that you need,
When I was in school, the leprechaun destroyed my whole classroom.
the leprechaun destroyed the whole classroom. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's try this out. We'll practice again. Pink goes first, green is second question, okay? Okay, here we go. Would you rather be in, and I should say parents and grown-ups that are watching, all the questions are right. There's no wrong answer, so it's all practicing kindness in one way or another. Don't judge the young ones here. Okay, would you rather be invisible or be able to fly? So invisible is this color. Fly is this color. Would you rather be invisible or be able to fly? Oh, we got both colors going. So those invisible, tell me, give me some answers.
I want both. I want both.
You have to choose one or the other. That's how the game. You have to choose one or the other. You want to pick? You have to choose one or the other.
Invisible like Harry Potter.
Why do you want to be invisible?
I just want to fly. I just want to
infinite places on the world.
For
For example, I could go to a tropical island and have a very nice house on the shore, and I would never have to leave again unless I wanted to go to a different tropical island.
And that's if you can fly. You want to be able to go all these places and see all these things. What about someone who wants to be invisible? Go ahead.
I want to be invisible because, I want an invisible cloak like Harry Potter because I love Harry Potter, and I want to be invisible so then when I get in trouble, my parents won't know where I am.
Yes, those are very good reasons. So we want to be like Harry Potter with the invisible cloak, and we also want to hide. All right, let's ask another one. Are you ready? Remember, if you think about would you rather, the first one is this color, second question, or this one, right? Okay. Would you rather help someone with a problem, or would you rather do someone a favor? That's a tough one, huh? Would you rather help someone with a problem, you could pick that one, or would you rather do someone a favor? Oh, we have we have both again. Okay, I see lots of pink, so let's go with that one first. Would you rather help someone with a problem? Tell me why. Why?
I know why.
Why?
Both.
No, both.
Two reasons. One, if you're doing chores and then you get paid money. And another one is it feels really nice to help people.
Yeah, it does feel nice to help people. And yeah, sometimes we could get something out of it too. What about with doing someone a favor? Oh, okay, go ahead. Tell me yours. This is basically what you do for a living. You help people with problems. That's amazing. Yes. Oh, you can't do both. Tell me someone who said, I would rather do someone a favor. Anybody? Go ahead.
I would rather give my parents ice cream.
You would rather give your parents ice cream. Well, that might be doing a favor, because maybe they really wanted that ice cream. You want to say yours too? Go ahead.
I'd rather do it so that I could win. If they would give me a reward afterwards, I would get the reward.
Oh yeah. If you get a reward, that'd be great. All right, I think we're gonna.
I'm gonna do it because then if my parents get in trouble, I'll give them ice cream.
I know everybody's stuck on that. Okay, I'm gonna do one more, and then we're wrapping up. Oh, we're gonna do one more. Wait, I'm gonna give you one. Let me find a good one. Okay. All right. Here's a good one. Here's the last one, and then we're gonna go downstairs for religious exploration, which is fun too. Now remember, pink is first and green is second. Would you rather plant a tree, or would you rather give a surprise gift to someone? Remember, pink is plant a tree. And green is give a surprise gift. Plant a tree. I see both again. Okay, those with plant a tree. Tell me. Go ahead.
Because trees help us breathe and it gives out oxygen, and also if I would give a gift to someone, my parents would have to spend money, or I would have to spend money. And that's just a waste of time.
Yeah, well, those are all good answers. Yes. Yes, trees will help us breathe, air, and all. Okay, what about give a surprise gift? Go ahead. It is fun to see a smile on people's face when they receive it. Absolutely. All right, that is just a lovely way to end. Thank you all so much for participating in this game. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed it so much, you want to go get the book, you can get it at the library. It's called Would You Rather. Have a great day. Thanks.
Each Sunday here at UUC-UC, we make space to share the joys and sorrows closest to our hearts. We will take a pause with music to give you time to write joys and sorrows on a card or in an email to joysandsorrows@uucuc.org. Then, a little later in the service, I will read out those shared messages so that we can celebrate each other's joyful news and support each other's griefs. During the pause, we often have a ritual space for folks to come forward and light candles at the altar. But today, we are going to stay seated and have the ushers come around and pick up any written cards. I will light 2 candles here on our altar on behalf of all the joys and all the sorrows that our community is carrying today. Together, we'll hear our blessing song, Long Time Son, just 2 times through. And while we listen and sing, you are invited to write the joys and sorrows you would like to share.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure, pure light that's within you guide your way home. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure, pure light that's within you guide your way home. Thank you. We'll return to joys and sorrows a little bit later in the service. And now we'll have the first of 4 reflections from members of our congregation. Jody Hanger is a longtime member of the choir and has recently been serving on the board as well, and she will talk about a religion of hope.
Good morning. Thanks to Sam and the worship committee for asking me to participate in this service. I hear I was a hard get. I grew up UU, and we did a coming of age class. I basically refused to do the final assignment, which was to preach before the congregation about what I believe. So I guess I'm making up for that. As I was preparing my words, I realized that I've been actually privileged enough to arrange my life to avoid situations that make me uncomfortable or nervous. Speaking into a microphone, speaking in front of a group of adults, speaking about personal views, they're all on that list, so here I am. Sam asked me to reflect on what I believe. It turns out I believe a lot of things. You might think them naive, simplistic, but here I go. I believe books are magic. There's so many children's books that should be required reading for world leaders and everyone. I believe in the golden rule. What's so damn hard about treating others how you want to be treated? And I believe in singing as a spiritual practice. Like Sam said, I've been a longtime choir member, and I keep coming back to sing. There's nothing like working together on a piece as part of a choir and performing it well. But for today's service, here is another belief. Maybe it's not revolutionary, but I believe that UUism is a religion of optimism and hope. It's what keeps me coming back to church. Here's a few short thoughts about that. Last week, Reverend Brath talked about UUism as a living tradition. I love the idea of being part of something that isn't just rooted in the past, but is fluid, willing to change and grow, however slowly and painfully sometimes. The UUism I knew as a child was different than it is now. And because UUism doesn't center itself on a higher being or beings, it means that we, as humans, have the power and responsibility to grow and change as well. That I can still grow and change. UUism is a religion that believes that it is within human power to make the world better. Here's a second thought. UUism is a religion that believes in leading with love. I don't know about you, but what is more optimistic than that? It's a religion of acceptance, of making space for everyone to be themselves, imperfections, mistakes, and all. Of course, we do have room to grow in this area, but trying to make progress. And then finally, here's another story. Not long ago, a few weeks ago, the adults in our congregation visited the religious exploration classes downstairs in an upside down kind of service. So the kids were up here and the grown-ups were down there, learning from the great volunteer teachers. In the K through 2 classroom, we made name tags with some information about ourselves, favorite color, etc. And the last question on the tag was, why do you come to church? I was stuck and kind of peeking around at other people's and finally wrote down something that was along the lines of, I enjoy the community of like-minded people. And then I looked over at my choir buddy, Jerry Fry, and he had written in all caps, I love humanity, with an exclamation point. Now, if you hadn't gotten this idea already, I'm an introvert. So the idea of loving all humanity is a little overwhelming to me, but meaning all the people on earth, right? But humanity more in the sense of being humane, of loving and having compassion for others. Yes, UUism is all about loving humanity. I guess behind all of this is that UUism, for me, is about people-powered hope, not waiting for hope from above. I believe in humanity. Thanks.
Thank you, Jody. Next, we have 2 new members, Charles and Caitlin Walworth, who've been coming for about a year, and they will talk on past and present.
Hi. So throughout my childhood, I attended church every Sunday with my family. And during that time, I enjoyed the rhythm of going to church every Sunday, singing with people, and just the energy of the church and being around lots of people. But while the primary reason for my family's attendance was their faith, I did not share that same priority. God has never been a primary focus for me or at the center of my beliefs. As a young girl, I never really mentioned my lack of faith to my family. I always felt it was something best kept to myself. Until one day, my mom being a mom, just plain asked me if I believed in God. And I said, no, I don't think I do. So then she asked, well, what do you believe? And I have spent many years since she asked me that question trying to figure that out.
I spent a lot of time when I was younger studying religion, trying to figure out what I believed. Did I believe in God, the afterlife, an inherent meaning to our existence? After many years of questioning, I realized that I didn't really care about the answers to these unanswerable questions, although I think I lean more towards the skeptical side. I am much less interested in what people believe about these abstract questions than I am in how their beliefs shape their values and whether their actions align with them. Do their beliefs lead to them doing good in the world? Do mine?
So here's where I've landed. I believe that building and being a part of a community is the most important task of our lives. Our connections to one another, both passing and more intimate, are essential to our mental, emotional, and physical health. Supporting, uplifting, protecting, and caring for one another is, I believe, just a part of our nature as humans. I have, over the years, widened my circle of community to now encompass the planet and her many creatures, human and non-human.
I believe that each of us, human and non-human, is precious and unique. This life in the here and now is the only one we can be certain of, and it is up for each of us to find our own purpose and meaning in life, personal development, and building connections with others. I believe in the value of justice, equity, compassion, and respecting the dignity of all people and all creatures. I believe that I have a duty to live my life in a way that reflects the values I claim to have by avoiding harm to others and helping to care for and lift them up to be the best that they can be.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Linda Owens, and I'm a member of the Worship Committee, and I'm just going to do our community matters this morning. We as a Unitarian Universalists acknowledge that our circle of care doesn't stop at our church doors. We are deeply connected to the community we find ourselves in and to the wider world. Please continue to keep an eye on your e-news weekly newsletter for opportunities to show up, find support, get involved, and be part of the community. Today, immediately following church in the fellowship hall is the all-ages seed planting party. This was maybe going to be outside, but I think that it's a little too chilly to do that, so it'll be in fellowship hall. And also the Exploring World Religions next trip is to a Quaker worship next Sunday. If you're interested in that, today after the service in the Children's Chapel is the learning and preparation session. Each Sunday, in recognition of our very real interdependence and reliance on each other, we pass the plate and share our offering with an organization doing the work of justice in the world. For our March Sundays, we are sharing our plate with the Midwest Access Coalition, or MAC. MAC is a nonprofit abortion fund that helps people all over the region access safe abortion and reproductive care by providing emotional and logistical support, including assisting with travel costs, lodging, food, and childcare needs. The people most affected by abortion restrictions are those who already face overlapping systems of oppression and hardship. MAC has helped over 3,000 people from 30 states traveling to access care when their home states made it impossible. Illinois continues to be a hub of vital health care, and MAC works to make that care accessible to all who need it. You can give by text or through the online portal or on our website. Excuse me, the online portal is on the website. Or if you are here in the sanctuary, the basket will be passed and checks can be made out to the UUCUC. Half of what you give will go towards sustaining the work of the church, and the other half will go directly to the Midwest Access Coalition. We invite you to give whatever is generous for you, and know that anything you contribute will be gratefully received and put to use, helping make a real impact for people who need it. The basket will now be passed.
And hopefully this stays on the mic stand through the song. Don't know where to begin, but I know where this might end. I get visions of darkness coming round the bend. After all of this time, I'm finally feeling fine. It can't last, I know that, but it's still divine. I don't need nothing but what I've been given. These days are fleeting, but we're still out here living. Whoa, 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 whoa. When the days fly too fast and the heartaches always last, chasing memories of youth, chasing something true. Keep the good in hand. I hope you understand that there's a joyous refrain we sing through the pain. I don't need nothing but what I've been given. These days are fleeting, but we're still out here living. Whoa, 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 oh, 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 oh. don't need nothing but what I've been given. I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing. I don't.
In the interest of time, because we have a lot of joys and sorrows, the music for meditation, I'm just gonna do as an instrumental while Carrie reads.
Yes, our hearts are overflowing today, so bear with me. All right, from Christine Cahill. It was an absolute joy to be able to travel to Denver to see our daughter Colleen, son-in-law Tony, and grandchildren. Husband Michael's skiing was cut short by the big storm. We got back to Denver and were able to provide childcare when daycare was canceled. From Umita, her mother came home from rehab on Friday, more than 2 months after she fell and broke her clavicle. She was glad to be able to be in Connecticut to help her mom through the big transition. From Reverend Beth, I'm filled with joy and gratitude for this community and all the ways like this beautiful service that we create ministry together. This is from Charles Walworth. Friday was my birthday. I met up with Caitlin for lunch, and then we made a lovely dinner for us at home. We'll be celebrating with our friends and family this afternoon. From Matthew Kraftchik, baby Ada was born Friday at 6:26 p.m. She was 3 pounds, 3 ounces, and 19 inches long. Mother and baby are happy and healthy, and we're recovering and adjusting today. We can't wait to introduce her to everyone. From Beth Stafford, my niece and I are celebrating the fact that she just legally changed her last name to bury the memory of an emotionally abusive father. She is now Nick P. Stafford. And from Sam, our daughter Caroline will be doing her residency in family medicine at UI Chicago, her first choice. She is very happy. This is from Theo. On the plane, Lacey didn't cry when she couldn't sit next to me, or next to the window. That's great. From Amanda Jane Pellet, I miss my best friend Rachel, who would have celebrated her birthday March 15th. From Kat, a joy that I finally have a new job after months of hunting that pays more and less physically demanding, and a sorrow that this means I'm soon leaving my coworkers, who I have come to see as close friends. It's bittersweet, but they support me through this life change, and no matter what, I'll treasure the friendship we've had. From Beth Simpson, I drove around in a parking lot with Paul. From Brittany Shipley, happy birthday to my grandma, who would be 76 if she was still with us. She is greatly missed, and the memories of her continue to teach and inspire those who were lucky enough to know her. From Alyssa, my birthday was on Friday. Beware the Ides of March. So full of gratitude for the spring weather and the friends and family who celebrated with me. From Elizabeth, caught baby number 30. Lots of birthdays today. From Dar, my young nephew was just diagnosed with melanoma. He is long distance from his family and needs positive thoughts now more than ever. From Kathleen Robbins, please keep the people of Haiti in your heart and prayers as they go through this most difficult time. From Mabel, my joy is to be happy forever, Mabel's mom. Joy is that Mabel has the gift of sharing this joy with others. Thanks to everybody who shared their joys and sorrows, and we know that you also have ones that you are keeping in your heart.
We'll now continue with our reflections. Next up is Alyssa Mullins, who is a new member and has regaled us with classical Greek poetry at recent coffee houses.
All right. Good morning. In the words of Joseph Campbell, what we're seeking is not a meaning of life, but an experience of being alive. So I'll share one of my pivotal experiences of being alive. I was alone in my third-year college apartment, a young student of ancient Greek with dark circles under her eyes, swimming contentedly in an altered state of consciousness, courtesy of a small dose of LSD, when I suddenly became aware of and identified with the infinite. My first coherent thought was, so this is what they're all talking about. All the religions, all the myths, and it was the funniest thing in the world because it was the most obvious thing in the world. Then the panic set in, and all through the night I alternated between laughter and tears, my thoughts spiraling in the ecstasy and terror of revelation. The next morning, I received a call from my doctor informing me that I had been diagnosed with an incurable autoimmune disorder. In other words, that the brutal fatigue I had been struggling to remedy would be with me all my life. Well, it seems my experience of the transcendental mystery was well timed. I discovered the possibility of identifying with something beyond my chronically ill body, and I perceived the process of the universe as music. It's all a dance, a play, a drama, a game, a great and joyful patterning. This realization helped me question and gradually disentangle myself from patterns such as those perpetuated by grind culture that did not harmonize with my particular physical being, and to attune myself to this deeper level of awareness in which everything, even the things we experience as negative, is part of an infinitely complex harmony. This kind of experience, whether it is precipitated chemically or through meditation, or spontaneously, independent of any attempt to have a mystical experience, can become a rich, ever-renewing source of the joy in life and compassion for all living beings that our world is so hungry for. I believe psychedelics can be an incredibly potent tool to help us break out of habitual ruts of thought and behavior, and in peak experiences, to break through to the transcendental, that unnameable thing all the myths and metaphors refer to, like fingers pointing at the moon. So many people get stuck on the pointing finger, the metaphor, and forget to look up at the moon. Rumi writes, "One image without form came, and I quit. Only love, only the holder the flag fits into, and wind. No flag." Thank you.
And our final reflection will be given by Priscilla Cron. Priscilla wears a number of hats. She's currently active on the racial justice team, and she's married to Jerry Fry.
And that is a good thing, actually. He's much more outgoing than I am. I kind of feel Jody's comments this morning. And since we have a little time, I have a little St. Patrick's Day trivia. I have a couple things, but I'll start with one. I have deep Irish roots, and I am wearing blue primarily. And I looked up this morning, and the original color of St. Patrick was actually blue. I didn't know that, but they didn't adopt green until later on with the Irish revolutions. So I am wearing my Irish roots. So now I'll start. Well, Jerry's going to start, actually.
Spirit of life, come unto me.
Just as music shapes sound, life experiences have shaped my UU faith formation and vice versa. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. At the Unitarian Church of my childhood, the RE classes always stressed connections to the earth below and around us, the sky above. In elementary school, I was a bit of a nerd. I was captivated by Albert Schweitzer's personal work and the UN's global efforts, the ruins of Machu Picchu, and the model city of Brasilia, all threads within a web of interdependence. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. With other UUs, at high school UUs, I attended a camp for suburban and inner city youth. We worked, played, shared stories, and laughed, inhaling and exhaling our individual worth and dignity with every breath. At numerous marches and rallies, footfalls and chants rang out cries for justice. Once, a young student I had from a modest family in India, understanding gifting at the holidays, presented me a thin, well-loved comic book, pages frayed and yellowed. He gifted it with his heart, and I accepted it with mine, sharing generosity and gratitude. Later, the heart-rending tale of a teen's harrowing escape from Vietnam and his feeling of safety sleeping on a trailer floor here in Urbana led me to believe deeply that everyone has a story. Who am I to judge anyone based on a momentary interaction? These experiences broadened my faith. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. As a child, I had two sisters who seemed imaginary. One died as a baby when I was 3, and for me, she was an angel, a figment of stories and photos. The other, 12 years my senior, was an unseen secret. There were murmurings of severe intellectual delay, mutterings of near death from pneumonia, and whisperings of a state institution. Fast forward to my joining here in the mid-'80s. Yeah, I've been here a long time. I spiritually prepared myself to go on pilgrimage. First, to Bremerton, Washington, to my sister's grave. My roots branched to include her. The second, resulting in a profound spiritual transformation, was indeed to a state institution in Rome, New York. Hearing my footsteps echo in those cold, barren halls, my strength waned. But my sister, surprisingly, allowed this stranger to hold her hand for just a few seconds. And with that tender touch, my atheism of my youth took flight and was replaced by a new belief in a spirit of life and love, setting that long-held secret free. Honor, my sister, is now 83, and she's under my guardianship. And my other St. Patrick, since we have time, Sam, my other St. Patrick's Day trivia is that honor, at least in some families, there was an Irish tradition of giving the first daughter the name of Honor. So I have my sister Honor, my mother was Honor, and it goes back at least 4 generations. So very nice. Being UU allows me to shape individual truths and find personal meaning, always centered in love, which grounds me in this faith. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Thank you.
So unlike Alyssa, I haven't taken any LSD. But I've just had a profound experience. All I did was ask. I had no idea what those who accepted the invitation were going to say. And what they said was amazing. I've learned a lot. It's hard to encompass all of this in the moment, and before we go on to our closing hymn, I just need to take a moment of silence. Yeah, Angie, Jody, Charles and Caitlin, Alyssa, and Priscilla, thank you for sharing. And now I invite everyone to please stand if that's comfortable for you and join in our closing hymn number 1014. Note a change in words. The composer, Jason Shelton, made a principled decision to change from standing on the side of love to answering the call of love. The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. The call of We'll close our time together with these shared words from UU Minister Reverend Elizabeth Selly-Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together. The chalice has been extinguished.